Hey Cam fam, welcome back and welcome to Keeping Up with Cam. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning into our channel, and if you're a returning subby, thank you so much for coming back. So today we are going to have our Toddler Boy Hairstyle video number 76. This one's a bit different. It is not a hairstyle, but it is a how-to. So we're going to be starting off with our Shea for Silk Infusions. This is a heat protectant, very important in what we're going to do. So I put a moderate amount on my hands and I'm working it into the back section. I like to blow dry section by section. I just make sure that I get in there. I open it up in the middles, the ends, especially the ends are very important. And once I do that, I just spritz a little bit of water on it because again, he has low porosity hair, and even though we just finished washing, it's still going to be dry. So I'm going in low heat, low distribution. If you don't have multiple settings, just keep it as low as you can, close to cool. And you're gonna blow dry the hair. So I started out just blow drying with the ends, and then I worked to the roots. And once I finished with that, I started holding the hair taut, and then I worked my way from the roots, passing it several times down the roots, making sure that I'm getting it as straight as possible, and then I worked it all the way through. So I do that each section by section throughout the hair. Once I'm done, I twist it or braid it, whatever works, and then I go over it again at the end. So now we're moving on from the back and we're moving on to the front. As we all know, Kamari's hair is different curl patterns in different sections. So this one's a little bit looser curls I find in the front. This is the more 3 type hair. And I find that the back is more of a 4 type curlier curl pattern. So again, I'm going in, making sure that I'm just opening the hair up in the middle, getting the product in the middle of the hair, getting the product on the ends of the hair, and then I'm going to start blow drying from the ends, working my way through that as well, and as gently as possible. This is sped up, so it looks a little bit fast, a little bit rough, but it's not. I'm working my way through the ends, and then I'm going to work my way in the middle of the hair shaft, and as you can see here, I'm going just through the roots, passing it through while I hold the hair. And then once I pass it through a couple times, then I'm going to go all the way from the root to end, root to end, root to end. And I just keep doing that section by section. I did start out with really low heat, and I just found that I wanted to add a little bit more heat. You do not want to fry the hair. If it takes you a little bit longer because it's on low heat, that's okay. Do not turn the heat up, do not turn the distribution of the heat up. You want to keep these type of styles where we use a blow dryer, or these type of scenarios where we use a blow dryer, as least damaging as possible. So that means low heat. Take your time. Patience is key. We've got all the time in the world, right? So I've worked the blow dryer through. Again, I usually say this, but I try and have a blow dryer that has a brush piece. It just makes it so much easier to do their hair. I'm not a professional stylist, so the brush in one hand and the blow dryer in the other hand, that's a lot of work. So I go in with an all-in-one, and it just makes it easier for me. So as you can see, I finished blow drying each part of the sections, and now I'm going back in just an overall. I am using a little bit more heat protectant again because you can never be too safe. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And this heat protectant is very lightweight. It does not weigh the hair down. It does not clog it up and get it greasy. So it's okay that we're using this in 2 instances. So again, I'm going in, working at the roots, working at the ends, because I know that's where I'm going to concentrate on, because we are doing something where we need the full length of the hair, so we know exactly what we're cutting, because this is a trim. So again, I'm going in, I'm working my way through that middle section. I'm just trying to concentrate a little bit more on the back because that is where the tighter curl pattern is. So as you can see here, I'm going in, holding the section that I'm working in. Also, make sure you tell your kids, because Cam, I always have to remind him to hold his head. I don't know if there's a better way to say it, but I keep telling him, hold your head, which is essentially to just keep your head tight so that it doesn't move, like keep their hair from moving, so that when we're working on it, they're not jerking their head back the whole time, hurting themselves or making it harder for us to work. So once I'm done that, I'm now going to section it off. I'm working in the back section first, and I'm going in with my shower comb, wide tooth comb, whatever you have that works, and I'm concentrating on the ends because that is where we will be working. So I'm going in now. After having that back section, I'm going in with a small section. Just use my finger to part, doesn't matter. I have these scissors. I am not a professional, like I said, so these are just regular scissors. Get yourself some shears if you would like. And I'm going in that section, and I'm getting as close to the ends as possible, making sure that the hair is detangled, combed through a good couple of times, and I'm going to snip straight across. You can break this down into 2 sections, but then you're running the risk of it not being cut straight. So I do the whole section at once, so I know that it is an even cut from one side to the other. So as you see, I'm looking through, seeing where it's getting see-through, where it's getting really thick and scraggly. And it's not a lot that I'm cutting off, but it is making a big difference. You can see that it looks very blunt because it's now like a blunt cut, blunt ends, and that's fine. I do think I could do a little bit more, but I didn't want to like overly cut his hair to begin with. So I just did what seemed appropriate, and then maybe in like 2 months I'll go back in and just do a little bit more snipping, and then I think I will have it all. But as you can see here, as I got a little bit more in the middle, I realized, you know what, I think I need a little bit more cut off, so I did do quite a bit on that section. But as you can see, his hair still has its length. It's just now going to be a lot healthier, and it's going to allow for it to grow. Because if we don't cut the ends, if we don't trim the ends, get the split ends gone, it's just going to work its way up the hair shaft, and you're essentially going to just see the hair disintegrate, basically, right? You gotta cut the head of the snake, and that allows for it to regenerate and to be better, right? So once we cut these ends off, it's gonna allow for the hair to grow out without the damage. Again, hair grows from the root, not from the ends. But once we have our cut ends, we have ends that aren't breaking all the way up, it's going to stop the damage. So that's what we're doing. We're stopping the damage from the bottom and just allowing ourselves to retain that length when we cut, when the hair grows from the root. So as you can see, this is what it looks like, very blunt, so you know that you did cut properly, but it's going to help the hair grow so much. So new section, same rules. We're going to go in with the wide tooth comb, make sure we get all the bigger knots out, and then we're going to go in a smaller section, and we're going to go with the rat tail comb, and we're going to work on the ends because that's where we're cutting. We want to make sure everything is as combed through and as detangled as possible. So as you can see here, you can see through these ends, and once you get to the middle, you're not seeing through it, right? Obviously the hair is more dense, so that's going to play into it, but in the ends you can see where it needs the most work, where it needs the most cutting. Granted, when people go to the salon and do this, they do straighten their hair to cut. I don't want to add that much heat. I already don't like blow drying, so I am just doing this cut on blown out hair. You can feel free to straighten their hair like a light straighten. It doesn't have to be like bone straight, but for me personally, I just didn't want to go through that route. I've never straightened his hair, and I don't think I'm going to be doing it anytime soon, so I figured that the best option for me would be on blow dried hair. So as you can see here, I'm actually working on the sides separately because I can't have the whole perimeter of his hair because this is the middle. It's a lot more hair. I couldn't have the whole perimeter at once, so I worked on the middle first, and then I'm going to go on the left and the right by themselves. So the middle will be one length, the outer sides will be one length, and if you eyeball it well enough, they'll all be the same length together. Now I wanted to let you guys know I didn't do all of his hair. I found that I had more trouble with the ends towards the middle and the back of his hair. The front of his hair didn't give me much issue, so I only trimmed this amount of hair, so probably like 60-70% of his hair. I did not do the full thing, but I found no issues with it thus far, and if I do need to go back in and cut more, I'm fully able to do so. So you look at your child's hair, you figure out how much you think, if it's the whole head, if it's just sections, just parts, and you go from there. But this is the amount of hair that I got rid of all together, and the hair looks great. I'm so happy that I did it. I will take him to a salon at some point. I feel like I haven't done enough research yet, and I'm like, if I can do this myself, why not? Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know if you tried it. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.